Back to my channel. It's Kristen. Today I wanted to film for you a recap for my last bi-weekly makeup basket, which began on the 5th of June. I have filmed my new bi-weekly makeup basket and that should be up, and hopefully history will not repeat itself and I will have this update or recap video up within the week. I've been really bad about those. I'm actually posting the one from 2 weeks previous to that today. So I've been really slacking on that, so hopefully I can get that together and get that posted relatively quickly. So I'm going to just go into products that I enjoyed in the last 2 weeks. I still haven't figured out how exactly I'm going to do this, but I do have a very clear idea of the things that I was really enjoying in the last 2 weeks. So I'm going to go ahead and show those. I did just want to talk real quick about these two concealers. My last bi-weekly makeup basket theme was palettes. So I thought about some concealer palettes that I had that I really hadn't used because I haven't been a big user of concealer. So what I found in the last 2 weeks was that I wasn't so much in a rush to get ready for work, but I didn't have the time spared to go through the extra step of applying concealer to problem areas, so I leaned more towards choosing a fuller coverage foundation option than using these concealers even when I had these in my basket. So this is a Sonia Kashuk one. I do enjoy this. I am going to keep it. This powder over here is super buttery soft. I really enjoy this. This palette, on the other hand, it's a little stiffer in its use. These are a little more stiff and you have to really warm them up, which is not a bad thing. I did use these two shades and I only used this once last 2 weeks. I did not use any of the corrector shades, so I want to give this a little bit more time and see if I really get any use out of it, and if I don't, I'm just going to toss it. It pains me to do that, but the reality is if I know I'm not going to use it, then I need to get it out of my collection. So the next several things are more highlighter blush palettes with a bronzer in one. This is my Makeup Forever palette. I loved this last 2 weeks. I really enjoyed mixing these two together. Beautiful color on the cheeks. This color right here has such a beautiful sheen to it, and this highlighter is amazing. I'm going to keep this in the next basket just for this highlighter. I'm going to go ahead and show you that highlighter there. It's gorgeous, and I bet it would be really pretty on the lid. It is a shadow. So there's that, and there's those shades as well. I do think I showed this in my first video, but I don't think they came out with that kind of pigmentation. So I did get some of that little bit of hard pan that was on the shadows off, and so that is the color payoff there. The next palette I have is this Tarte's Blush palette, and I absolutely adored this the last 2 weeks as well. The shade that I ended up loving the absolute most is this shade right here. I wore this quite a number of times, but I enjoy all of these shades. Actually, I don't even think I used this one. It is really pretty, but I didn't use it. I did use these three, and this one was my absolute favorite, so I really loved that. So then there was my NARS Virtual Domination palette, and I really enjoyed having this palette in my basket because this also has a bronzer in it, which is NARS Laguna, and it's really, really nice for contouring. So that's really nice. I did use this blush, which is Sex Fantasy, and this blush right here, which is, I believe, Deep Throat. I did not use Final Cut here. I did use this highlighter, which I do have swatched right here, and it doesn't really have a whole lot of highlighter payoff. It's very much a glitter kind of highlight. I would say it's very similar to the Urban Decay, those dome shaped highlighters that they came out with when they came out with that second shade of that. It's pretty similar to that as far as the color payoff and the glitter content to it. So I didn't enjoy that as much, although I really like the Urban Decay ones. I haven't used them in a while, so maybe I wouldn't care for them as much as I used to. But I really did enjoy using Laguna to contour with, and I did not bring it out, but I showed it in my BiWeekly Makeup Basket for the next 2 weeks. I am going to roll over the Tarteist Contour palette because that has a couple of shades in it that I really enjoyed contouring with. I think I enjoyed it more than even the Laguna, so that said a lot to me, and that's why I pulled that one over instead of the Laguna, because I wanted to keep using that and use that for my contour. The next palette I have is the Becca Jaclyn Hill palette, and I love Pearl and Champagne Pop. I still have not touched Blush Copper, but I mixed the two of these together, and it is absolutely heaven. I really enjoy Champagne Pop and Pearl mixed together, and I enjoy both by themselves, but the two of them mixed together is absolutely gorgeous. And so I got a couple uses out of this in the last 2 weeks and really enjoyed that. And as far as eyeshadow palettes go, I am wearing today the NARS and God Created Woman palette. So this is what that looks like right here. So as you can see, I've really been digging into this shadow and this shadow right here. Pretty much the look I am wearing is just this top row here, and I do occasionally use this color in Coconut Grove on my lower lash line. Really enjoyed this palette, wore this several times in the last 2 weeks. The other palette that I pulled was the NYX Avant Pop palette. I did wear this a couple of times, but as you can see, I don't think you can see, I really only use these 3 shadows right here, and what I ended up doing was pulling in this palette as well for a particular look that I was doing, and I got some use out of these 2 shades right here. So couple of uses out of these palettes. I like them. They're nice, but the absolute 100% star of the show was my Alice Through the Looking Glass palette. And this looks like this. And I got use out of almost every shadow in this palette. The only shadow I did not use was this color in Hatter and this color in Kingdom, and this color in Chronosphere. Those are the only 3 shadows, which is silly because actually these 2 are neutral browns, and I did not even use those at all, and did not get any use out of Hatter, but I got plenty of use out of several of these shades. I did use the Looking Glass and Reflection, Dormouse, and Cake several times. I used Gone Mad several times. I used Paradox several times. Duchess I used several times. So this is what I was wearing for most of the 2 weeks, and I just couldn't get enough. I almost considered, and still am, leaving this in the next basket because I have some shadows pulled, but my theme is purple, so I really think that I could use those shadows and kind of carry through with some of the shadows from here and get some good looks out of that. So we'll see, but that is my recap for my last BiWeekly Makeup Basket beginning on June 5th. As far as the lipsticks go, I did use the Kiss the King from MAC several times. I finished up my MAC Angel lipstick, and the other 2 I did not use at all. I did not use my See-Through Glass from MAC or the Naked Bud lipstick. So that is it for my update and my recap. So I hope you guys enjoyed. Again, I haven't posted the last video, which I'm posting today, where, you know, I really do ask how you would like to see these videos. I definitely have some standout favorites from this last 2 weeks. The Alice Through the Looking Glass palette that I really wanted to show you guys. So that is what I wanted to know. Do you guys just want to know what really stood out to me, or do you want to know everything that I used in the last 2 weeks, or obviously what didn't work for me? I want to tell you about as well. So, you know, that NARS highlighter isn't the best choice for me. So I really didn't enjoy that, and I did mention that. So let me know in the comments below what you guys want to see and don't want to see. So I will see you guys in my next one. Bye.